Okay, so let's start by putting my hair back. Okay, you know what? Okay. Oh, sorry. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's a bit dark right now, it's actually raining outside. We're gonna start a tutorial today, and as you can see in the title, we're going to be, well, at least I am going to be attempting a no makeup look. And if you know me, no makeup looks are not really my forte, especially because I have a lot of things to cover, you know, so it's not a makeup look that I tend to do very often. I have knowledge about it and I've done it a couple of times, but I won't say that I am very good at the no makeup look. So we're just gonna attempt and figure out a way to do my makeup in a way that looks as if I'm not wearing makeup together today. And since no makeup looks tend to be more skin focused, I thought I would start with skincare today. The first layer of skincare I'll be using today will be the Marmont Moisture Ceramide Skin Softener. It's one of my most hydrating softeners in my collection, and I haven't used it in a while, so I wanted to bring it back out to use for this look because I want this no makeup look to look quite glowy and well, should I say, like, I want my skin to look creamy and flawless. And then I'm actually going to go in with like 3 layers of this. I'm doing like a whittled down version of the 7 skin step? The Korean 7 skin step routine, where you just pump your skin full of like moisture with a moisturizing toner. And this toner is so thick and moisturizing that it's really very good for this sort of skincare routine. So definitely this is a good thing to do to prep my skin before applying as little makeup as possible. The better the skin, the less makeup you need to use, right? This rainy weather is getting me down and it's really distracting me. Fun fact, I do not like rain at all. It makes me anxious and nervous, and it makes me feel trapped in my room, especially when I'm looking out into the rain from my window. Anyways, I'm just gonna go in with some serum just for some additional skincare benefits. And this one is the Discoloration Correcting Serum from Good Molecules. I have actually been liking this a lot more now that I've been using this for like a good, I would say, 3 months. I've only been using this on and off, but it's just a good hydrating serum step, I guess. Still can't say if I can see any effects on the discoloration front, but it is definitely a very enjoyable, like, feel good, affordable serum to use, especially because it has niacinamide in it. For my eyes, I'm going to use this eye-opening essence from Waso Shiseido. Looks like this. Is actually a really big tube of eye cream, considering how much you need to use each time. And this one is actually a very light eye cream with a little bit of like orange pearls suspended in it. I have noticed that when I apply this underneath my skin, it's gotten so dark. I hope you can still see. But I noticed that when I apply this underneath my eyes, the skin around my eyes turns a little bit orange. Nothing too alarming and nothing too unnatural or like loud and, you know, weird. It's so dark. Wait, let me see if I can adjust the brightness on my camera. Hold on. Okay, this looks better. I adjusted the ISO up, so hopefully it's a bit brighter and more visible. But I hope now you can see a little bit of like that orange that I was talking about. Orange cancels out the purpleness under the eyes, so I assume that was what the eye cream is going for. It doesn't really work in my opinion, but I think any bit of color correction will help in today's look, especially because we are trying to use as little products as possible to create the best looking skin as possible. I'm also taking a little bit of my Lucas Pawpaw ointment in a tub form onto my lips as lip balm. My favorite lip balm on planet Earth. My favorite lip balm on planet Earth. That came out so weird. Actually, all my words are coming out so weird right now. And I blame the rain. It's making me so nervous. And for the last step, I'm going to use the silicone-free priming moisturizer from Good Molecules. This is one of my favorite moisturizers for prepping before makeup because it really gives the skin such a nice, moisturized, creamy skin sort of finish. I like to use like about 2 pumps. And the bonus of this moisturizer is that it really helps the makeup stick onto the skin and helps the makeup stay on a lot longer than if you were to just apply the makeup without this moisturizer or any other priming ingredient. So this priming moisturizer really primes the skin and makes makeup perform so well over the skin over a long period of time. Okay, now that we're done with my very brief skincare, I think my skin feels really supple and moisturized right now, and you can see like a slight glow to my skin even though it's very dark and cloudy and dreary outside. There's still like a glow. It's a good thing. And I'm gonna go in with my most favorite natural skin foundation, and this is from Clarins. It's their Skin Illusion Natural Hydrating Foundation with SPF 15. I've spoken a lot about this on my channel, but if you're new here, this is literally one of my favorite foundations ever to exist in my collection. It comes in a dropper form like this, and like the name says, it really creates an illusion of skin, like glowing skin, and somehow it still has quite decent medium coverage while being very lightweight and undetectable on the skin. I have no idea what magic and sorcery is in this bottle of wonder, in this majestic bottle of wonder. And a very little amount goes a very long way with this foundation, which is really very nice. Like you really won't need to layer on too much product to create the look of perfect skin, or rather good skin. I think when it comes to natural no makeup looks, I tend to try to control myself. Like while I'm applying my makeup, I like to just remind myself as I apply my foundation especially to calm down a little and tell myself that it's okay to have a couple of flaws peeking out a little bit more than normal. I'm actually gonna take a little bit more because I think I took a little bit too little. No makeup is supposed to be believable skin. In a no makeup look, as the name suggests, skin is not perfect if there's no makeup on it. So even though you want to wear some makeup to maybe disguise a little bit of like discoloration, pigmentation, acne scars that you hate, overall you really want your skin to look like maybe you haven't worn any foundation. Maybe it's really just you and your skin is just close to perfect. Another tip for making sure that your makeup turns out very believable is to really take your time with blending. You can use very little steps to create your looks, like maybe all you want to do is like some brows, foundation and concealer. Sorry for that reflection on my face. Maybe that's all you want to do, like a couple of steps, but take time blending longer than you think is necessary so that it really blends into the skin and sinks into the skin. The choice of products that you use is also key. So you will see throughout this video that I will be using like makeup items that are meant to give your skin that skin-like natural finish, which basically means something that's not too glowy or oily and not too matte. or powdery, so that when other people look at your skin in real life, it doesn't look as if you have put on a lot of powder or a lot of oils and like creams on your face. It just looks as if you have good skin naturally, that isn't too oily or isn't too artificially matte, And the concealer that I'm using right now is the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer, and I'm using the color Fair, and this color is close to my skin tone. As you can see, it's not too light and brightening, it's just maybe like half a skin tone lighter than my skin, which still provides my skin a little bit of that brightening effect from just the color difference, but not too much to the point of betraying the fact that I'm actually wearing concealer instead of me having lots of water and lots of rest. So this concealer has a very nice skin perfecting quality to it, as the name suggests, and it also has like a luminous quality to it, which surprisingly doesn't look too oily and artificially like glowy. It really just looks like the skin is well hydrated and has a good dew to the skin, but not too dewy, you know what I mean? Like, as I blend it out, can you see that my skin still retains that texture of skin, and it looks as if it might actually be skin. Like, it doesn't look too much like I've applied oily creams or foundations on my skin. If you don't look closely enough, you might think that I'm not wearing any sort of product on my skin, and that's what you want. So I think the secret to figuring out how to do your version of the no makeup look as well as you can is to really find products that works with your skin, so that it works with and not against your natural skin texture. And you can see that I actually have a lot of acne problems, like lots of blemishes and acne scars and stuff. I actually have a really big one here. I just used the same concealer, which is honestly speaking not the best in coverage, but somehow it gives enough medium coverage sort of finish for me to be okay with the amount of coverage it gives me, especially on days where I just want my skin to look presentable, not too blemishy, but I don't need all my acne to be like super covered with super full coverage products, So if you are to look at me from afar, you won't be able to really tell that I have like very bad skin, but you will still be able to see hints of like bumps and flaws all over my skin, and that's really what you want to keep around. So when we're at this stage, you can opt to powder your skin a little bit, but don't go overboard, because like I said, the powdery look really gives away the fact that you're wearing makeup. But if you're someone who has very oily skin and you really need the powder to make it last, I would recommend like a very finely milled powder. The one that I really like right now is the Oil Control Water Blotting Powder from the Face Shop. This is the Peach version, the Cacao Friends version. So I don't know, and I don't think that this exact one will be in stock anymore at the Face Shop, but anything that is like finely milled and translucent that doesn't give more coverage will work. Many Korean brands make a version of like the no sebum powder, or like a sebum powder or something. Like, I know Innisfree has a very popular one, and they're not the only brand to do like a good, affordable, finely milled oil blotting powder. I myself am going to skip powder because I have quite dry skin, and every time I put on powder, the powder betrays the fact that I'm wearing foundation. So for the eyebrows, usually I tend to go in with powders, but I'm going to attempt to create very natural brows with this Too Cool for School One Day Tattoo Eyebrow. So it's like a liquid eyebrow pen sort of situation. I don't know if it's the formula, but I've tried it like maybe 2 times, but it never really worked out. Or maybe I'm just like, maybe I have like a preference for like stronger brows in my everyday life. I'm just gonna try for the sake of this video and for the sake of attempting to create the most no makeup look ever. I think I'll just zoom you in a little bit. Hold on. Okay, hi, so now we're like close and personal, and you can see that I don't really have a lot of brows compared to some other people on the internet. I'm just gonna try my best to create hair-like strokes with this pen, which I think would give me quite a natural brow look. But I'm honestly not the best with this method and I am prepared to fail. I'm gonna shut up and concentrate right now. Is it working? I personally like to extend my brows a lot further than where it like naturally ends, so maybe that's why it's not working, because it's not hidden by a bush of hair. Okay, I'm gonna go back into my favorite eyebrow powder. This is discontinued, but it's the Kat Von D Brow Struck Dimension Powder, and this one is my darker one in light brown. And I'm just gonna use some of this on my regular ColourPop E6 liner angled brush. If you can tell, there's like a small little demarcation where you can obviously see that there's no hair there. I'm just gonna stamp it with this brow powder to sort of give it a little bit more depth, to stop it looking so bald in that area. That kind of works. But anyways, yeah, so now that we're done with the brows, with like a fluffy kind of like small brush that's clean, I'm gonna go into my Too Faced Sweethearts bronzer in Sweet Tea. Actually, they only have one color, so I'm not sure why they named it. I'm gonna go into my lighter shade over here. I just want to stamp a little bit of that color onto the mobile lid area, stopping at where my crease starts, like this, to kind of give the eyes a little bit of definition, but nothing too fancy to the point of people being able to tell that it's eyeshadow. You see? And then whatever's left on the brush, I'm just gonna run it below to kind of create like fake dark circles, because if you look at your natural eyes, they usually aren't too concealed and too skin toned. There's actually a bit of a pigment to the under eyes, especially because, you know, dark circles and stuff, it's only natural that you have some. So you just kind of want to bring a little back to the outer corners. That also helps with bringing a little bit of definition to the eyes when you can't line your eyes and mascara and, you know, that things like that. And the shimmery factor of that bronzer makes it look more like skin instead of like a shimmery eyeshadow. Usually I would put on bronzer after this stage because it will kind of frame my face a little, but in the name of no makeup, I'm not gonna even touch the bronzer near my face, because if you're living in Singapore like me and you look like me, most people are quite pasty pale, so our ideal good skin look is to look fair and healthy with porcelain skin with like a dew like this. It actually looks okay because we have some highlight under our eyes, so it really brings light to the center of our face, and with that it really kind of recedes this area, and you can't see a demarcation between my face and my neck right now because it's really just the same color. A bronzer is gonna totally take that illusion away, so I'm not gonna do that. So this is the Too Cool for School Jelly Blusher. It is in 06 Rose Smooth. It's in a very nice cute little pen like this that slides out. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on my fingers and I just want to put it around this area right here. It kind of contributes to the contours of my skin a little bit, so instead of contours on my face. So instead of using a bronzer color, I'm using my blush to help with that situation. A cream blush is gonna keep the skin texture intact. Just try to make sure that you're not using a blush that's too glowy. This blusher, this cream one from Too Cool for School, is a moussey textured kind of blush, which often gives the skin a more skin-like finish. So not too glowy but not too matte at the same time. After that is done, we can always go in with just like some lip balm and call it a day. If you want something more glossy, you can go for the Clarins Instant Light lip comfort oil. Like swatch, you can see that it really doesn't really give a lot of color. It just gives a lot of shine and a little bit of that berry sort of shade to the lips, and your lips being naturally already pigmented to that kind of color, this color is really just gonna emphasize that shade. And when did I mention this is the shade Red Berry number 3. Alternatively, you can go for something like this. This is just a tinted lip balm. This one is a cacao collaboration as well, and it's just a pink color, kind of like a tinted pink lip balm shade. So like I have to go a couple of passes on the back of my hand for you to see that that's a bit of like that tint to it. It is hydrating, so if you can still get it online, I would highly recommend it. It's a very good like daily lip balm that gives a bit of like a pink tint to the lips. So you can see that that's just the ultimate like illusion that I'm not wearing anything, but it actually is helping my complexion look a lot healthier and brighter and perkier. I'm just gonna put this over the top to demonstrate. Personally, I like to use this one over the other one, the peach one, just because it feels a lot nicer and I really like a juicy lip on myself. Can you see this very nice oily glow on my lips right now? And it doesn't even look too much, and I layered both products on. It just really gives like that rosy red tint to the lips. I just look naturally healthy, you know, like I think that's the no makeup look in a nutshell. Like you just want to look like a healthier, better skinned version of yourself. Like you have 8 hours of sleep, you have all the water that you have to have. And actually, if I'm not talking you through the entire process of me figuring out how to do this no makeup look, I can do this in like 10 minutes max. But if I have practiced my entire routine and got it nailed down and I have everything in front of me ready to be used, I don't think it will take more than 5 minutes to get ready. It's really very simple if you really think about it. Very, very minimal product used. Very easy to achieve. You barely can mess up actually. As long as you have like the suitable products for this, you are covered. With that said, we are done with today's tutorial. All in all, I really enjoy how this is looking right now, and I'm actually very sure that this is going to last me and age very well throughout the day, and it's gonna look pretty damn close to perfect by the end of the day. Let's just zoom you in to give you one last close look at my skin, and you can probably tell that the finish is really skin-like, natural and believable. No creases, no obvious powders. So that's that. Hello, I'm just back from my grandmother's place and thought I would do like a short little check-in on how my skin is looking after, let me do math. So I filmed at about 3+ and now it's close to 9, so it's about 6 hours in. I was under the rain and it was really hot. I wasn't in an aircon condition, so like some oil is to be expected, and I didn't do any blotting. If I did some blotting, it would look so much better than now. I'm trying to just raise my head towards the ceiling light so you can see what's going on. It's actually looking really good. Like, you can see that nothing has broken up. It's just very oily, but it's still very intact, and whatever finish, I'm not sure how much you can see in this lighting, but whatever finish we were left with when I first started out with this makeup look is still, pardon the creaking chair, it's a really old computer chair thing, if you can see right there. But yeah, so I really need to get like a ring light or something. I don't even have one right now. Let me just blot with a piece of tissue. I'm not really like a big fan of like blotting paper or anything. I just think that tissue does a decent job. So this is like just a brief blotting. I'm actually gonna just wash off everything in a bit. I'm just gonna go shower, but you can see that there's no creasing on the eyelids. It's still looking like skin. Brows are still intact, as to be expected. There's still a little bit of blush going on, so you know that nothing has really faded. The concealer is still on too. It's just about as much pigmentation coverage as I left it before, and yep, so that's my base 6 hours later. Still looking really good. And with that, we are now at the end of today's makeup tutorial. Thank you so much for watching to the end if you did, and if you learned something or enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and of course don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below if you have not subscribed already. I would deeply appreciate that. If you have not followed me on Instagram already, and if you are interested in following me there as well, my handle is SharmeenCCW right here. I'm also gonna link it down below, so you can always click on that. I post quite regularly, like makeup looks, tutorials, photos, you know, selfies, all that good stuff, fun stuff. Lots of makeup inspo on that page. And yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end once again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.